Charisse Rivers here with Retirement Coffee Talk and Zinnia Wealth Management. We are here at the Inn at Spanish Bay getting ready for the Players Cup tournament. And I have a killer super guest in front of me, Heisman Trophy Award winner. Doesn't like the Gators, Ohio State player, College Hall of Famer, NFL icon, now entrepreneur and financial advisor. So let me do a proper introduction. Eddie George is in the house.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. That's the first time I've had that. Everybody else were like, "Hey, let's jump right into it. We all know who you are." But
No, I got
thank you.
You guys, you got the props. You got to
I
do it
appreciate
respectfully.
I appreciate it. No, life is good. Can't complain at all.
Just saw you a couple weeks ago. We did a selfie for our clients. Because I found out you're a financial advisor, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's talk about what you love to do, on the field, off the field.
Oh man, well, off the field because that's where 100% of my time is now. Well, soon. But anyway, that's another story. I love music. Grew up listening to music, grew up DJing. I still do that.
Wow, fun.
I have a little extravagant setup in my man cave with 2 turntables, Technique 1200s. My man's in the back. You know what it is. Technique 1200s. Got my Serato set up, music, and I love 90s hip hop. That was the golden era for me.
Oh yeah,
that's
still
everything.
good. I still listen to it.
Yeah. Who's your favorite artist?
Oh my God, Pandora, best of the 80s and 90s.
Best 80s, 90s. That's your favorite artist.
I just listen to all of it. Like I'm one of those people. I listen to all of it. Like,
You look like a Snoop Dogg fan.
I like Snoop Dogg, but he's killer too, man. But he's not my number one. I mean, maybe in high school he was my number one actually.
Yeah,
but it's changed. You kind of grow into college. It changed.
Different eras. Yeah, different eras.
Yeah. So life after the NFL. You're young. You're the youngest person I'm interviewing today. And we've been talking about the game plan. You are. And the retirement red zone and getting ready for retirement. And so, retirement red zone is 5 to 10 years before you retire. And so are you prepping for that? Because I know you're still doing things in the arena.
Well, retirement is an interesting word to me. And when I think of retirement, I think of still evolving, still growing.
I love it.
Not doing your life purpose. I don't think of retirement as, okay, I'm now going to live off my 401k and sit on the dock of a bay and watch the tide roll in and fish and wait to die. Mm-hmm. No. I'm going to go out strong, healthy, whole, vibrant, still doing my thing, still working in terms of business, and impacting young people. Roles change. You grow up, as you're an adolescent going into manhood, you're trying to find out who you are, trying to achieve a dream, and it's all about fulfilling your dream. But at some point in time, that shifts over into impacting others and uplifting others and becoming a true leader. So that's kind of where I am. And if I can lead to the day I die, that's what I want to do. So I don't have retirement as my long-term goal. I still want to be having a strong impact and continue to make money, well into my 90s, or if I get to 100, God willing, that's what I want to do. So I don't have retirement like, okay, I'm gonna wait to live off of what I made and accumulated,
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, in my industry, I focus on retirees. I'm not sure who you focus on yet, but I'll ask you in a minute. And the game plan is, let's plan for it. Let's get there. If we have an illness beforehand.
Yeah.
Hey, what's our out? Can we even retire if there was an accident or something like that? And then what is your goals and your dreams? And what's interesting over the last 15 years in this industry, more and more people are just like, I'm not done with life.
That's right.
I'm not ready to sit on a rocking chair. And
Right.
Charisse, I want to make sure those paychecks are coming every month, and I don't want to worry about the stock market nor pacing up and down the hallway every night. So how do we do it? So like for you, are you like the stock jock? You're accumulating wealth for your clients. So your forte is really the athletes and the young people, getting them to retirement. Is that kind of your thing?
I would say, well, athletes aren't necessarily my client, all of my clientele. Of course, I'm going to focus on that. That's the world I come from. But anyone in my Rolodex that has wealth that I could fulfill a need, whether it's through insurance, premium financing, a portfolio of stocks, or going into a platform that's a passive platform. It doesn't matter who it is. Whoever provides that need. I firmly believe in the approach of base hits every day and recurring opportunities, compounding interest, all of that. So when I'm talking to someone about retirement, we want to get you to a point where you've accumulated so much where you can just sit back and kind of have your options open. But I would never encourage someone to say, hey, don't do anything for the rest of your life. Go start a business, go start a nonprofit, go do something that's going to fill the soul. And that's going to bring you more happiness and will result in more finances and more opportunities and a more fruitful situation for you, so you don't have to worry about tapping into your nest egg that you built over a certain period of time. Because for some athletes, we make millions of dollars quick.
Yes.
And if you are living a lifestyle where you're spending more than you're making, you don't have much to fall back on. And that's where a lot of the emotional and psychological problems tends to happen, because men, we really value ourselves off of our wallets, how much we've made, how much we've accumulated. And that's where we kind of put our value in. It's not so much as having impact, especially a young man. So I say all that to say that, we encourage our clients to save, be frugal, think in terms of base hits every day, find value, opportunities, and begin to accumulate and build and grow over time, and really diversify your portfolio. Use whole life policies or universal life insurance products as ways to accumulate wealth. To continue to build wealth if they're set up properly.
Right.
And understanding
Properly,
that properly. That's key. So that's what we try to advise.
Great. So you take the diversified approach, and you're the stock jock and the motivational speaker that goes deep. I like it. That's great. So what's the plan for the next 10 years?
That is a wonderful question.
Oh.
God willing, if I'm alive and doing well, is to thrive, is to impact lives. It's to raise a profile of programs and universities. I'm really jumping into more of the educational student-athlete space.
Nice.
Through
gratifying.
financial literacy, how to leverage your athletics into a better future. And that's encompassing on life skills, financial literacy,
Great.
the transition, all the things that I'm involved in now. I'm bringing that experience and that platform to young people.
Great.
So, yeah.
Sounds like you might be on your way to starting your own foundation. So Ohio State versus Gators. So we can still be friends, right?
Hey, listen, let bygones be bygones. I have no problem with what happened years ago. I mean, let's look at the state of our universities today.
True.
Right.
So last question, and the question is, if you could go back in the past and look at your younger you, what would you advise younger people, high school, maybe college, a direction that maybe you screwed up in a nice way of saying it, but maybe could have done better, or, some sort of advice for the young ones out there?
I really appreciate that question, because I often think about that, in terms of what would I tell my younger self? What would I try to avoid? Well, sometimes I have to go through that fire in order to become the person that I am.
Mm-hmm.
I would continue. I wouldn't change anything. And I've been through a lot of stuff I wish I could change. But I wouldn't be the man who I am today without those things, like being forged by fire. And that's what it is. You're being molded by fire. And that fire burns, but it doesn't last long. So I would tell any person to walk with God and to walk by faith and not by sight. You know, you often think that your journey is going to be a very linear process. And it's step one, it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Well, to get to your goal, your vision, you might have one path in mind, but the universe and God has something different. Cylindrical is like this table. He can take you from A to Z, back to A to B, back to A again to F, back to A again to Z. And you're like, this is not what I want this, but I'm all over the place. But each and every experience is preparing you for ultimately what you envision, because it's a God goal. So to walk by faith and not by sight. And as you walk, you'll begin to see gifts in you begin to flourish and to take form, and new ideas and inspiration, and a gift that you may not have thought you ever had comes to the forefront because it's birthed there in the moment. That's walking by faith and not by sight.
Man, you can't have said that any better. I call it faith, fear, and failure. We need all three of them to be successful and get wherever the big man upstairs is leading us
That's
to.
right.
So,
That's
hey,
right.
it was a pleasure meeting you
It's
a couple
over
weeks ago.
already?
This is fun.
Oh.
We get to play some golf here, I think, at
we
Pebble
do.
Beach in
Yes,
like
we
2
do.
days.
I
So,
know. I'm excited about it.
I know you said you're an okay player, so I promise I will
terrible.
not show you up, but I might outdrive you.
Hey, I don't
Not-
mind that. I don't mind that. You know, hitting from which tees?
The women's, of course.
Okay, of course.
Hey, it was a pleasure.
Yes.
Thanks so much for spending the time with us, and we're looking forward to seeing what you can actually do.
Absolutely.
You know, giving back to your community.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Good stuff, man.